Mom, everything is ruined. My daughter Claire sobbed, staring at the red wine stains spreading across her wedding dress. How did this happen? I knew exactly how it happened. I'd watched Jennifer, my sister-in-law, accidentally bump into the table, sending the glasses flying at just the right angle to hit Claire's dress. The same Jennifer who'd been trying to make this wedding about herself from day one. My name is Rebecca Mitchell, and I was watching my sister-in-law try to destroy my daughter's wedding. But unlike the other times Jennifer had pulled her stunts, this time I was ready. Don't worry, sweetie, Jennifer cooed, rushing over with fake concern. I actually brought a backup dress. It's designer. I was saving it for a special occasion, but you can wear it. We're practically the same size. I bit back a laugh. Jennifer had spent weeks losing weight to fit into that backup dress, a white gown that looked suspiciously bridal. She'd been planning this moment for months. That's so thoughtful, I said calmly, meeting her eyes. But I think we have a better solution. Jennifer's smile faltered slightly. Oh, but the ceremony starts in an hour. There's no time to find another dress. Actually, I said, pulling out my phone, why don't we check the security footage from the bridal suite, just to see exactly how this little accident happened? The color drained from Jennifer's face. Security footage? I nodded. I had cameras installed last week, after the cake samples were mysteriously ruined and Claire's original veil disappeared, and the florist received that fake cancellation call. I paused. Interesting timing on all of that, wouldn't you say? Claire looked between us, realization dawning on her tear-stained face. Aunt Jennifer, did you do this on purpose? Of course not, Jennifer protested, but her voice shook slightly. Rebecca, how dare you suggest? How dare I? I cut her off. How dare you try to ruin my daughter's wedding? Though I have to admit, you've gotten better at this since Sarah's wedding. Jennifer went very still. Sarah was my other daughter, whose wedding 3 years ago had been plagued by mysterious accidents until she'd been forced to use Jennifer's help to fix everything. She'd ended up sharing her spotlight with Jennifer, who'd used the wedding to announce her own pregnancy. A pregnancy that conveniently miscarried 2 weeks later. I don't know what you're talking about, Jennifer said stiffly. Really? Should we call Sarah? Ask her about how you spilled red wine on her dress too. Or how about Madison's quinceañera last year? Emma's graduation party? Every family event, Jennifer had to be the center of attention. Had to sweep in and save the day from disasters she created. But not this time. Claire, honey, I said to my daughter, why don't you go with Madison to the other room? I have something to show your Aunt Jennifer. After they left, I turned to Jennifer, dropping my pleasant smile. You really should have checked those cameras before you pulled your little stunt. I pulled out my tablet, showing her the crystal clear footage of her deliberately knocking over the wine. But that's not all I have. Would you like to see what else I've been collecting? Jennifer's face went from pale to ashen as I pulled up email after email, text after text. Conversations she'd had planning her sabotage. Conversations with the florist she'd bribed, the baker she'd threatened, the boutique where she'd bought her backup dress weeks ago. How did you get access to your messages? Let's just say you should really change your passwords more often, especially after borrowing someone's phone to make a call during a family dinner. I watched her process what this meant, that I had proof of every scheme, every manipulation, every calculated move she'd made to ruin today. What do you want? She whispered. I smiled, thinking about the garment bag waiting in my car. Oh, Jennifer, we're just getting started. Follow me, I said to Jennifer, heading toward the parking lot. My heels clicked against the pavement, each step measured and calm despite the satisfaction building inside me. Jennifer trailed behind, her designer heels not quite as steady. Rebecca, surely we can talk about this. I never meant to get caught. I finished, reaching my car. No, I'm sure you didn't. Just like you didn't mean to get caught sending those anonymous texts to Claire about her weight last month. The one suggesting she might not fit into her dress. Jennifer froze. How did you know about those? The same way I know about the bridesmaids' dresses you had altered to be unflattering, or the makeup artist you paid to make Madison look washed out in photos. I opened my trunk. I've been watching you, Jennifer, for months. Inside the trunk was a garment bag, long, elegant, and clearly expensive. Jennifer's eyes locked onto it. What is that? This? I unzipped the bag slowly. This is the dress you ordered. The real one. Not that white monstrosity you brought to upstage my daughter. Inside was an exact copy of Claire's ruined wedding dress. Same designer, same size, same exquisite details. But that's impossible, Jennifer stammered. That dress was custom made. One of a kind. I smiled. You're right, it was. Until I contacted the designer 3 months ago, right after I found your first email to them asking about Claire's dress specifications. Funny how helpful people can be when you explain that someone's trying to sabotage a bride's wedding day. Jennifer's face twisted with anger. You've been spying on me? No, Jennifer. I've been protecting my daughter. There's a difference. I lifted the dress carefully. Though I have to admit, watching you plan everything thinking you were so clever. It was almost entertaining. You can't prove anything, she said, but her voice wavered. I pulled out my phone, playing a video, Jennifer in the bridal suite, carefully plotting her movements with the wine glasses. The timestamp was clear, just 15 minutes ago. Can I? I have dozens of videos like this, emails, texts, witness statements from the vendors you tried to bribe. Even that poor makeup artist you threatened. She was quite happy to help once I explained what was really going on. Jennifer's perfectly made-up face crumpled slightly. What are you going to do? That depends on you. I handed her my phone. First, you're going to call your husband and tell him you're feeling ill. You're leaving. Now. David won't believe. David has seen the videos I cut in. All of them. Including the ones from Sarah's wedding. He's waiting to talk to you at home. Her hand shook as she took the phone. I watched her make the call, watched her lie smoothly about a sudden migraine. She had plenty of practice lying to David over the years. Now what? She asked after hanging up. Now you have a choice. You can leave quietly, let Claire have her perfect day, and we'll discuss the terms of my silence tomorrow. Or, I held up a USB drive, or every person in that reception hall sees exactly who you really are. Every scheme, every manipulation, every cruel text and sabotage event. I'm sure our family would find it fascinating viewing during the reception. Tears welled in her eyes, real ones this time. You're destroying our family. No, Jennifer, you did that. Every time you tried to ruin someone else's happiness. Every time you put your need for attention above your family's joy. I'm just making sure it stops. Today. I watched her walk to her car, her shoulders slumped in defeat. For the first time in years, she wasn't going to be the center of attention at a family event. Back in the bridal suite, Claire was overjoyed to see the replacement dress. Mom, it's perfect. But how did you know we'd need it? I helped her into the gown, smiling at her reflection in the mirror. Let's just say I learned from experience. Some people can't stand to see others happy, sweetheart. The trick is being prepared for them. Madison, my youngest, looked up from adjusting the train. Is that why Aunt Jennifer left? Dad said she was sick. Yes, I said, fixing Claire's veil. I think she'll be sick for quite a while. Now let's focus on making this day perfect for our beautiful bride. As Claire walked down the aisle an hour later, radiant in her pristine dress, I caught David's eye from across the church. He nodded slightly, a gesture of understanding and gratitude. He'd seen the evidence, knew what his wife had done. That conversation would be its own kind of justice. My phone buzzed quietly, a text from Jennifer. We need to talk. Tomorrow. I smiled, typing back, yes, we do. And Jennifer, bring your calendar. We have quite a few events to discuss. The day after the wedding, I sat in my home office waiting for Jennifer. The USB drive lay on my desk beside a thick folder of printed evidence. Every scheme, every manipulated event, every cruel message she'd sent over the years. At exactly 10 a.m., the doorbell rang. Jennifer stood there, looking nothing like her usual polished self. Her eyes were red, her designer clothes slightly rumpled. Come in, I said, leading her to my office. I assume you've had an interesting conversation with David? She sank into the chair across from my desk. He's leaving me, she whispered. After seeing those videos, reading those messages, he said he doesn't even know who I am anymore. Don't you mean who you've always been? I asked quietly. The woman who ruined her niece's graduation because she couldn't stand not being the center of attention. Who faked a pregnancy announcement at Sarah's wedding? I needed attention? Control? To feel important? I opened the folder. Let's look at your greatest hits, shall we? Madison's quinceañera, You told her she looked fat in her dress until she cried. Emma's college acceptance party. You announced your cancer scare that mysteriously disappeared 2 weeks later. Jennifer's hands twisted in her lap. I never meant to hurt anyone. Liar. My voice was sharp. You meant to hurt everyone. Every time someone else had a moment to shine, you had to dim their light. Had to make it about you. What do you want from me? She asked, defeat heavy in her voice. I pulled out a document. This is a contract. You're going to sign it. A contract? Terms of your continued presence in this family, I explained. First, you'll seek professional help. Real therapy, not the fake sessions you claim to attend after Sarah's wedding. I've already found a therapist who specializes in attention-seeking behavior. She took the paper with trembling hands. Second, you'll write personal apology letters to everyone you've hurt. Sarah, Claire, Madison, Emma, everyone. And there'll be real apologies, Jennifer. No justifications, no excuses. And if I refuse? I played a video on my laptop, Jennifer admitting to the makeup artist that she planned to ruin Claire's wedding day. Then this goes public, along with everything else. How do you think your society friends would react? Your clients? The charity boards you sit on? You're blackmailing me, she whispered. No, I'm giving you a chance to fix what you broke. More than you deserve, honestly. She stared at the contract for a long moment. David's already seen all of this, hasn't he? That's why he's leaving. I nodded. He deserved to know who he married. Just like our family deserved to know who was sabotaging every important moment of their lives. Slowly, Jennifer picked up the pen. As she signed, I saw something I'd never seen before. Genuine remorse in her eyes. What happens now? She asked. Now you get help. Real help. And maybe if you do the work, if you truly change, this family might forgive you. Eventually. After she left, I called David. She signed. I told him. Good, he replied, his voice tired. The divorce papers are being drawn up. I am sorry I never saw it before, Rebecca. All those years, all those ruined events. I should have known. We all should have, I said. But now we do. Over the next few months, Jennifer kept her part of the bargain. The apology letters arrived, raw, honest admissions of her actions. She attended therapy twice a week. Slowly, painfully, she began to understand the damage she'd done. Sarah was the first to receive her letter. She called me after reading it, crying. Mom, she admitted everything. The fake pregnancy, the sabotage honeymoon plans, everything. Are you okay? I asked. I think so, she said. It's just, all these years I thought maybe I was imagining things. That I was being too sensitive. That's what manipulators do, I told her. They make you doubt yourself. Claire's wedding photos arrived, perfect moments captured without Jennifer's drama overshadowing them. My daughter was radiant, her happiness untainted by manufactured disasters. Last week, Jennifer sent me a letter of her own. Not an apology. She'd already given me that, but a thank you note. You could have exposed everything publicly, she wrote, could have destroyed me completely. Instead, you forced me to face myself. To get help. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I know I haven't earned that yet. But I want you to know that I understand now, and I'm trying to be better. I placed her letter in the folder with all the evidence. Maybe someday I wouldn't need it anymore. Maybe someday Jennifer would truly change. But until then, I keep watching, keep protecting my family, keep the proof safe. Because some lessons need to be permanent, and some changes only happen when you're forced to face the truth about yourself. The folder stays in my desk drawer. A reminder that sometimes the best revenge isn't about destruction. Sometimes it's about reconstruction, about forcing someone to rebuild themselves into something better, even if they have to be broken first to do it.